Hey, what's going on, everyone? Let's do a weekly update, monthly update. Here we have Bitcoin. It's running this afternoon over the 34, back into the 34 previous high breaks. Looks like it wants to take a leg up. I'm looking for a 44.50 break across. The daily head and shoulders top, the left shoulder, head, right shoulder, the breakdown, the 2-bar pattern over the 30, over the 8, into the 13, back into the 8, back into the 13, back into the 34, bounce, all the way up. Let's see if we can knock out this head and shoulders top, and then it'll be easy to take that 2-bar pattern out. Also, you have to watch out for the double top and the lower high. So not out of the woods yet. Got a lot of work to do. I'm only saying that because it's pretty much a straight shot into resistance. So let's see if we can get into resistance. Let's see if we can break resistance, and we can talk a little bit about taking out that 2-bar pattern at the top there. But it is amazing, and something to witness if it breaks that top. I mean, shoo, thing's a beast. All right, so the dollar. Dollar on daily. We talked about the 3-bar pattern here. Into support over the 8, into support, previous high breaks over the 34, back in. And it looks like it didn't have to come all the way back in as the 8 crosses over the 34. So it's got a little bit of momentum brewing here on the daily. Opening up today for the futures. So it doesn't look good for the gold and silver. Got the inverted hammer we've been working off of on the weekly. Previous high breaks into the 34, opened above the 13, excuse me. Over the 13, back into the 13, opened above the 13 on the weekly open. So it opened above support. Doesn't. Watch out on the monthly charts. Always on the monthly charts. We did have a breakdown across the 34. Once it breaks down, it comes across, back into resistance, the bearish retracement, the bearish trap. So watch that. I'm looking for a resistance and then a rejection. All the way back into support. So I guess after the bullish retracement, a couple months from now, 3 months from now, however long it takes, I'm looking for a bouncing ball falling over into the 88 range, into previous highs. So let's see what happens with that. S&P for a monthly close. New highs, closing on its highs for the weekly close. Just straight up. I keep saying that there's no support on this thing. Absolutely no support. Look how steep that line is. The steeper the line, the less the support. That is a damn steep line. Very steep. Very, very steep. Watch for just a really, really bad day, and then everything's going to get taken out. I got previous high support for the first round, if it ever does, at 21.30. That is very steep, though. Very, very steep. And for the daily Friday close, for the S&P, just a shot in the dark. Look how steep that is. Just, what? Parabolic? What? Silly? Fake? I don't know what to think. It's absolutely sick. But, I got to scream hyperinflation one more time, just for the heck of it. The VIX, absolutely no volatility anywhere. The VIX is fixed on the bottom. I was looking for a turn, no turns, hanging on a tether. Could make another low coming in. The Dow, same thing. I was looking for a resistance, but it closed above. So nice little pull. Only thing that would solve that was momentum. And it looks like I had enough momentum on the Friday close to get above the 8. We are closing a bearish pattern lower high. It is closing on its highs though, so that's why I'm concerned. Watch for the double top open. Lower high, double top open. If this opens at the same price as the previous high and then starts to close in, then we got a double top to take out. Double top and then the double 2-bar pattern over here as well. And on the Dow, the previous highs are at 2217. 77. Excuse me, it's been a long day. I had to wake up early and paint. It's my only day to do chores, and I am exhausted. I'm about ready to take a nap. So again, look how dang steep that is. Parabolic, they say. There's absolutely no support for this thing. The steeper the line, the easier it can slice through the uptrend there. No support there. Absolutely none. Watch out. Watch out. Let's take a look at the weekly. On its highs. Watch for the double top open. Triple top now. We got a double top forming. It's got to take out that previous high. Closing on its highs though for the week and the monthly. Well above its averages on the monthly. Look how steep that is. This is absolutely insane. Oh my God. Kind of scream hyperinflation. The NASDAQ. I just can't believe how fake it is. Look at the NASDAQ on a monthly close. That's got a nice little reversal bar on the close. Second reversal bar in a row. It made a new high and closed back in below previous highs. That doesn't feel good at all. I got the triple wicks on top. That's a tweeze that tri-tips, triple top. I'm looking for the wicks pointing up, and that is 3 wicks. It did close all the way in for a bullish piercing pattern on the close. Came all the way into support, bounced, and once it opens up, opens down, and what goes 50% rule all the way through the previous candle, 50%. That is a bullish piercing pattern. That 2-bar pattern looks bullish on the weekly chart. But it has to take out those tops. If it doesn't take out those tops through time, it will fall over. Momentum will die. Daily close. Nice little bullish run. On its high. Friday on its highs. I don't, what the heck? We had this thing in a, last time we spoke, I had it at below resistance. So it blew through resistance of the last half of the day there. Crazy. Crude did make its high. It reached nearly that 60 mark we were looking for so long, and turned on a dime, and it's coming back into support. You can see the exhaustion move. Let it come into support. Let it find support. If the bullish pattern is in, it is just a beautiful multi-year price pattern. So look at the bullish retracement. The bullish retracement, and then the double back. Over resistance back into support. Support's your best buy. If you didn't catch the break, put your orders in at support. Over the 34, back into the 34. This is coinciding with a long-term neckline. It's a very bullish. Let the consolidation come in. Probably take a while. I hope the faster the consolidation, the bigger the move coming out. If it doesn't come all the way back in and it turns on a dime, doesn't need to come all the way back in for support, it's going to be a big move. It's already labeled a big move in my book because it is a long-term price pattern break. So let it come back into support. It looks like a stair step is in effect already. So those are the slow, steady, controlled stairs step into support, just like you're walking down the stairs into support, finding the floor here. Oh my God, I can't handle these things. Get me off. So we had a little top here, the exhaustion move, and then at the end of the week, it made that wick. So just day after day, coming controlled into support, stair stepping. That's not a true stair step right there. You can see the stair step. Sometimes it's like the equal candles. Each candle looks the same and it's just stepping into support. But a lot of times it just has that feel. The bearish flag or the bullish flag, the stair, I call it the stair step, a bullish consolidation, whichever you want to call it. And you can see very clearly that bullish reverse head and shoulders monthly chart, right? Perfect. I got resistance all the way up. Beautiful little chart. Let's see. USD, yen, carry trade. Monthly chart, it's got a little bit of work to do, but it has that nice little sharp little U coming off here. Over the 34 and then the sharp U consolidation. The swish. I don't know what to call it. A lot of this crap I make up on my own. V bottom and the consolidation. Keep talking about this. We do have a whipsaw on the bottom. I was thinking this thing's going to do a little whip, little right shoulder whip. You can construe this as the left shoulder, head, right shoulder consolidation, and the neckline to complete. But we have a whipsaw. It tried to break through, but got knocked back into the other side of the pattern. This is just a consolidation phase. I don't know how long it's going to be. I certainly don't like flat bottoms, but now it has a whipsaw double bottom into effect. So that's the only thing about those flat bottoms. It can turn, it can hold, but it's the last line of defense before it falls on through. It's a nice cup and handle, and those handles can come all the way back. Check that out on the Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns on, there's a free PDF file online. Google Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns and look up the cup and handle, and it'll give you stats on what's the probability of the handle coming all the way in. Also look on the reverse head and shoulders, the right shoulder sling back. How far can that right shoulder come in? It's there. People have done the research for you. If I remember correctly, I'm just throwing this out there, I think the handle could come down 40% of the cup before it starts to break down. It's still a high probability trade at 40% when it comes all the way back in. as far as I remember. Gold. Gold. It's coming back into support. Is this the week for support to hold? Did we find support? Everything's closing on its lows. And gold closed, opened down. One thing it did not. Oh my God, get out of here, please. One thing, gold did not open below previous lows. So it's in between resistance and support. We could still see a bunch of coming back in stuff all the way to 1260s where I want to hold it. Ultimately, I wanted it to hold the previous breaks, but that didn't work. You can see momentum, the 8 and the 13 crossing over previous highs. 13 is almost there. So price is just being slung back, bullish retracing, stair step into support. See that stair step again? Let's hang on a second. Monthly close on gold. Over the 34, back into the 34, 3-bar reversal, over, back in, 2-bar, came back in, held, 2-bar, came back in. We're in the bullish retracing after the previous break. Holding above the 8, holding above the 13. You can see momentum in the trend. And so here we go. In the ultimate of things, we need to break outside the pattern. I think it'll do it. Here's the first try. Here's the second try. Try the third time. Let's see what happens. See what happens the next time it tries that resistance. Let's start with the monthly on silver. What was it now? 1, 2, 3 months ago? We need it to close above 17 to confirm this hammer. The 8's right above the 13. Price needs to get above that 8 to make sure we don't turn over here. Silver on a monthly. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And then whatever it's doing over here, consolidating above the 34, which is good. Just don't let support drop off the map there. Weekly chart, I have that reverse. Head and shoulders. And watch that right shoulder come all the way back in. It is silver opened up, so maybe we can get a turn out of this thing. Maybe it's had enough. Hopefully. I do have a nice little trend line support here. So that little neckline. Let's hold support this week. Let's do it. If we don't hold support, it's going to fall over. There'll be a few more weeks before we can recover. Every time it breaks down, it takes a while for it to recover. It's a reverse head and shoulders, consolidating in and around that 34. The price pattern's right there. Let's get a turn. Let's make sure this is support. Daily close. Hour. I got a triple bottom on the hour. Maybe we can get above the 8, start building support above previous lows. I got 3-bar pattern, 3 wicks pointing down. That's a triple bottom, tri-tips. Tri-tip bottom. Let's see how we can do that. Let's do it. Let's open good. It's like gold on the 60 needs a little bit of help, but I do have higher lows. Higher lows into previous lows, across the 8, into the 8, over the into the 13, back into the 8, back and forth, pop across that 34. Let's do it. Copper. Let's start with the monthly, I guess. 2-bar pattern on the monthly. Let it come back in, unless it wants to double back and take it out. The 1-2 punch. The 1-2 punch on the monthly. That would be nice to see, wouldn't it? A little gust of energy came back in to previous highs. Let's see a double back in previous high breaks. Copper has a night. It dropped below the 8, and now it's below resistance. It's turning back into resistance. So volume will cure all deals here and see if we can get some volume above previous highs where that 8 is for copper on the weekly. Still working that 2-bar reversal here. Let's see. So daily looks all right. It had its bearish retracement here, got knocked back, made a hammer. Consolidated sideways. Through time, the 8 comes across. Finally, price crosses over the 8, back into the 8. Let's want a triple top here, take it out across the 34. Let's do a double back. Why not? Take out this top. That 2-bar reversal on the weekly, on the daily, that's a hanging man. I think we might have a double back possibility. Let's do the 1-2 punch, make previous high breaks. Nice. Let's do it. Gold silver ratio, I think I was looking at that. I'm looking at a head and shoulders top forming. It's got to really do something here. Or if it's going to fall back in, it's got to have a head and shoulders top. If it comes back in, gold will be a better buy, I guess. Silver's always going to be a better buy. 76, 78 and a half ounces per 1 ounce of gold. I'm going to buy more silver. Always. Closing on their lows, miners. Notice weekly, over the 34, back into the 34. Monthly, the double back. The pop coming back in. Let's do a double back. Let's hold support this week on the miners. GDX monthly. Hit resistance coming back in, gathering its legs. Daily. GDX does not look good. I don't like those bottoms like that. We had to break down across the 34, bearish retrace, got rejected. Through time, hopefully we can consolidate sideways. Watch out for previous low breaks. That previous low break is situated right where that inverted hammer is. You take out that inverted hammer on the downside, support will lose all legs there. So let's go sideways. Let's hold that inverted hammer. Let's get across the 8 this week. But it closed on its lows. Again, across the 34, back into support. Look at the 8 crossing over the 34. It's way overextended on the downside. It's got support all through there. All of this is support. All the averages are coming in, trying to cross over that 34. Price has to start moving back above so the 8 can cross. Same with Nugget. On its lows, at support. Has a lot of room to come back in, over the 34, back into support. Don't mind my messed up averages. It doesn't register too well on these miners. I got monthly support here. Make sure we hold support, okay? It's just gearing up. I mean, it's really tight. Everything's really tight in there. JNUG monthly, same thing. Into resistance, back into support, closing on its lows. Weekly. Weekly's the only one of the miners where it did not cross over the 34 and then come back into support. I have a reversal bar rejected at the 34 on the weekly chart for JNUG. But you can see the reverse head and shoulders. And on this one, I'm looking for a double back. Hold that line of support. Let's do it. Let's get this thing running back across the 34. Nice little pattern on the weekly. Gonna need a double back on the monthly. Daily is closing on its lows. Again, if it breaks down and takes that inverted hammer out, watch out below. It's going to take a leg. I need to hold support. I need to hold the support. Oh my God. What is going on? Hilarious. Oh, come on. Give me a line. I'm going to throw this thing. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. We got a line. We'll take a leg into support. JNUG closing on its lows. Closing below 18. Dumb. I need it above the 18. I needed it above 19. Very seriously above 19. 20 was the mark. None of it happened. Absolutely none of it. All right. So, weekly close on AG. Let's do this little AG. AG finally took a leg down way back when, after all the consolidation and everything, and then whipped right back across. Over the 8, into the 13, back into the 8. Let's get this thing rolling. AG was the big runner last time. NAK, weekly close. Actually, sorry, it is a monthly close as well. So riding support for AG over the 34. It's been consolidating. It broke down and came back across. Nice cup and handle. V bottoms, got a lot of opposing points here. Let's get a turn out of these things. Oh, man. Monthly close on NAK. You can see it came into support. And then we need to get above that 8. We did close above the 8 slightly. We need to break that 2 on the daily. Previous high breaks. I got an inverted hammer right there. Take out that inverted hammer on the upside. It already got rejected last week at the 2. Let's get back into the 2 range. We're only 20 cents off. With any pre-market volume, this thing will gap open 2, gap over 2, and everyone will be at a loss. So let me see what happened on that daily. hit the 2, came back into support, back into resistance, holding support, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What do you think? What are the chances of this thing gapping over 2 tomorrow? A little bit of volume. Weekly close, into resistance, back into support for the 8 splash over the 34. See, price over the 34, 8's coming up, 8's coming up, and then it comes back down to meet as the 8 crosses over for a nice little splash last week. Giddy up. Nice little bounce off of 34 for the weekly close. USLV. USLV. 3 times silver. Bull. That's a reverse head and shoulders. Closing on its lows. It could come, I think, Yasmin, I think I said that it can come all the way back into this previous high, previous low scenario over here. Very big line of support here at around 1050. So it's on its lows. Momentum usually carries. So look for a spike low for the right shoulder sling back on USLV weekly close. Looks like it hit resistance on the monthly and came back into support now. You need to hold that support line. It's struggling on the monthly. It needs to have a real good week. Daily close. Closing on its lows. Look for a spike low and then a 3-bar pattern across support. Could turn at any moment, but look how far it's stretched from its average. It's got to sling back. It's got it. HL. I don't know why I keep covering this because it's just in a consolidation pattern still. Back and forth, trade outside the pattern. Steel. Looks like it broke down one more time, came back all the way back above support for a nice little V bottom. Look at the left shoulder, V bottom. Look for the opposing point coming in this week. Weekly. Bounce right off the 8. Wow. Pretty good support there off that 8. 2-bar pattern close. Let's see if we can open up for steel. See if CLF is doing the same thing now. CLF is still in the cup and handle phase. We do have a 2-bar pattern. Let's see if we can break the top at 745 for the week. CLF over the 34, back into support. It's building. So it made it high, come back into support. We need to break it. URA, little uranium. It's hugging support on the monthly. Might dip below here, coming back into support this week. It's got a nice little cup and handle, but then it's trying to break down again. I don't know what's going on. It's got to hold support either way. Get that long line of support there. It's coming back into support. The more it hits that support, the more likely it'll fall over. I don't like that chart. Looks like the monthly got rejected at the 8. Looks like a head and shoulders top. But because it's at a bottom, I'm thinking likely it's going to not be a head and shoulders top here soon. it'll be a broken pattern at a bottom. Either way, it's got to hold support first. Watch for the previous high breaks, as this head and shoulders top forming will fail. Head and shoulders tops are supposed to be at tops. This is at a bottom. So if that pattern fails to the upside, watch for some nice breakouts. UEC monthly close at support as the 8's crossing over the 34. Weekly broke down, coming back into resistance, and so far rejected by the 8. So watch for that. Daily over the 34, back into support. Watch for previous high breaks. Again, a nice little hammer on the UEC. Take out the hammer on the upside. 140 and above. Previous high breaks. Got previous high here. A nice little hammer top there. Previous highs over here. Previous high breaks. Previous low. Previous high. Nice little break line. And just to boot, let's make sure it's on top of that hammer. Looks like we broke into resistance and had a nice little sharp U. Nice hammer off the bottom there. Little head fake hammer, close. Into resistance, back into support, making a hammer. Take out the hammer this week. UEC looks not half bad on that my daily chart. But who knows? Make sure you have support on this PRELF. Everyone's talking about it. Hive blockchain technologies. You can trade. You can take a part of the blockchain. I believe that they're going to be coining Ethereum coins. I'm not sure how it works, but there's a lot of people talking about it. So make sure you hold support. It has a spike high. I would say hold 150. You can see the 8 coming across. It's a pretty steep incline there, so watch out when an 8 is taken out. Bitcoin again. It's crazy. Ethereum. Not sure if we got a turn on Ethereum yet. Try to reverse head and shoulders off that daily. Break that 34 across. I'm working a double top on the weekly. That's Bitfinex. I'll just stay with it. Bitfinex has a lot more volume anyways than Poloniex. Looks like a nice little pattern forming. LTC. It's got to hold support. It's below the 8. Needs to get it back above the 8 previous highs. EOS. Had a little pop last week. I bought some more on the consolidation. Now it's in a pinch. Look at the stair step on that EOS. Into support. Pop into support. Little controlled consolidation. So I picked up a little bit more. Just to average in there. Had a nice little pop. Could be forming a bottom. Let's see. Let's see. Can't wait. Dash. I was having a little trouble on Dash, but I think I mentioned this earlier. The higher highs and the lower highs. And right now it's trying to make a monthly bottom. So it's accumulating. That's accumulation. So take out the highs and you'll get the boom boom time. It's big moves after accumulations. Weekly chart. I got the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Take out the tops. Buy into support. 2-bar pattern on head. Could take a little bit, but let's take out those highs. I mean, what are you going to do? Daily, that's why everyone's worried right now. It just really slashed back. That just looks like the volatility before the move to me. I mean, someone just bringing it back really hard. Seems like Google. Google's still working that double top, but I got some nice bullish moves coming off that in there. I thought it was going to break down. I was so happy to watch. But nothing ever happens the way I want it. So now it's breaking outside the pattern. Let's take out the highs. Got to take out that double top or everything's meaningless. And ultimately, it could turn into a lower high. Apple does not look good. That's a head and shoulders top. Breakdown. Looks like it busted into the 8. So far, it's been rejected. 2-bar pattern on the weekly, coming back into support, doubling back. It did not bullish pierce into the previous candle. It did open down, but it did not close above 50% rule. And look at the 50% rule on that previous candle. It's right lined up with the previous highs. So that is bearish. That is a bearish retracing. It's not a bullish piercing. Giddy up. That's a weekly. Monthly, 2-bar pattern forming, and it did close 50% rule below. Did not hold momentum. That is a 2-bar pattern on Apple monthly chart. Look out. As always, we could get that double back in the break. Have to watch for it. Someone had me put the Amazon in here, so I'm going to just go through this real quick. I have a spike high on the monthly. Exhaustion move, right? That's an exhaustion move. Under the 8, into the 8, rejected. Watch out below if this cannot hold up. I got the downtrend coming in on that 8. So it's got to get above trend on that. You can see that breakdown now into resistance. Let's see. Look at the head and shoulders top on that daily. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, breakdown. Giddy up. That doesn't look good. Netflix, anything could happen. Netflix, lower high. That's a reverse head and shoulders there. But that's at a high. So just like opposite. The reverse head and shoulders is supposed to be at the bottom. This is at the top. So watch out for this pattern to break down, as failure of it would be high probability. Higher probability. It's not like we're at the everything's for sure. Game tables. Nothing's for sure. That is a lower high, came back into support. That's a left head, right shoulder. Look for rejections off the 8 coming on in. Make sure the 34 breaks, and the last lines of defense would be, I'd say if it starts to crack below that gap, 174.50. If it does not hold that, I say we got a broken pattern. I do have support at 170, but if it starts to break inside the gap, my last lines of support is at 164. Facebook. Did I take a look at the monthly on? Let's do this. Netflix. lower high. I think that candle's in limbo. Stretched beyond belief. It stretched far from its average there, the 8. I would suggest that this needs to come back into support. Make sure it holds. I got support at previous highs at 164. And I got previous highs all the way down to 130. But let's watch that pattern on the daily. Double top, reverse head and shoulders top. I don't feel good about that either. So that's a huge bearish retracement on the daily, right? But it did close above averages. Nice climb after the drop off. Nice spike low. I think that's just the beginning. Look at the spike low crossing over the 8. It was crossing over and then it closed all the way back into resistance. That's a bearish retracement. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Anything could happen, but we got to get above previous highs, the 8 there. Take out those downward trend line there. And then something that we picked up that I left in here because it didn't come up on my trade, MedVed trader. Previous high breaks, look at that, nice. We picked this up on the scans in the morning trading. So if you weren't in it, let it come back into support. Pick it up on support. But that's it, guys. Appreciate everyone. That is the weekly, monthly review. See you in the morning. I gotta get some rest because I am tired. Pooped. My date went well. I had a date with God, it skips my mind every time. My Friday night movie, I had a date. Not with a girl, but just a movie. I always want to call it Sleeping with the Enemy, but it escapes me every time. It does what it's told. Fun and games. Join us on the mornings. Trade live in the mornings, trying to get J-Nug to wake up and try to do some scans, trying to find some good movers for energy, medical, and oil, and miners, specifically miners. But I'll talk to you guys later. Catch me in the morning, and let me know what's going on out there. I'll see you.